Today, I am breaking down the BRRRR strategy and also why it is so popular amongst real estate investors. If you're interested in why this strategy is so popular and also why some people claim that if you use it, you can use it to invest in real estate for free, then don't go anywhere because you already know we're diving into it. The BRRRR strategy has been around for quite some time now, but I first ran into it when I was diving into BiggerPockets, which if you haven't known that already, BiggerPockets is a forum where both new real estate investors and seasoned real estate investors can come together and share their thoughts and experiences. Now, if you have not ran into those acronyms before, let me help you out. BRRRR simply stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. Basically, it is a series of steps that if you follow, is going to allow you to exponentially increase the amount of rental properties you are able to obtain, no matter how much money you make. It's a very popular strategy. I personally love it. I hope to do it in the future, and today we're breaking it down. Now, the BRRRR strategy is definitely not perfect because it has its own flaws as well, and those I will be discussing towards the end of the video. However, even though it has its flaws, the BRRRR strategy is really primed to use, especially for beginners who wants to scale up how many properties they can get in the beginning. So we're going to be talking about some of the positive effects of BRRRR in the first half of the video. But before we do any of that, if this is your first time seeing my face, my name is Javon. On this platform, I talk about a lot, from real estate investing as a beginner to personal finances to money management and so much more. So after you're done watching this video, make sure you head over to my main page and check out other videos there as well. I'm pretty sure you're going to find something that you can like and you can personally use to help develop and make your life a little bit better. Now, after you're done watching those videos, don't forget to hit that like button down below until it turns blue. It is completely free at no cost to you, and it has the added effect of making this video reach out other people like you who may need it. So before I break down the math portion and show you exactly how BRRRR works when you're doing it in calculations form, first I'm going to talk about why exactly BRRRR is so powerful. So do me a favor and imagine this scenario with me. So imagine you're working a regular job in America and you're making about $50,000 an hour. This is probably going to be your law enforcement, your teachers, your paralegals, and what so you have it. If you're making $50,000 a year, it may be a little hard to scrap up enough cash needed in order to purchase real estate and use it as an investment. But if you got really creative and maybe even follow some of the methods that I talk about here on this channel, then let's say that you are now able to save up, let's say $10,000 every single year. Now, let's say that you've heard about the power of real estate investing, which I'm guessing is why you came to this channel to watch this video, and you wanted to get started for yourself. Well, here's the thing. Most lenders are going to require that you put 20% down if you're going to be purchasing a property for investment purposes. Now, on a house that costs $150,000, let's just say that, 20% of that is going to be $30,000. Now, when you're buying real estate, the down payment is not the only thing that you have to worry about. So you also have closing costs, appraisal fees, inspection fees, and so much other things. And you also have to keep in mind, you should probably have some emergency cash reserves as well. So even though it costs $30,000 as a down payment to initially buy the property, you're going to need more money. So instead of saying $30,000, let's say you have a goal to aim for of $40,000 to get your first rental property if it's going to cost $150,000 in total. Now, if you're saving $10,000 every single year, that means you're going to be waiting 4 years to be able to save up for your very first rental property. If you're putting away $10,000 a year, then based on the calculations that I gave to you, you'll be able to save up for a rental investment property after 4 years. But what happens if you want to buy another rental property? Then if that's the case, you'll probably have to wait another 4 years to work and scrap up the cash. Now, what happens if you want to buy 5 rental properties? 4 times 5, for every year you're going to be saving up for another rental property. 4 times 5, if you're going to be able to purchase one property after 5 years, it's going to be 20 years. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, 20 years seems like a really long time to purchase only 5 properties. This is where the power of BRRRR investing comes into play. With BRRRR, if you do everything correctly, you're going to first find a house that needs a little bit of fixing up, and you're going to buy that house in cash, and then you're going to also rehab it and fix it up completely until it is matching the market value that you know that it can hit. Once it reaches that point, you're going to place a tenant inside of that property and wait for a little over 6 to 12 months. Once 6 months happens, you're going to go to a bank or a lending institution or what have you, and you're going to ask them to enter into a mortgage contract for that property that you recently just fixed up. Now, since that property has a tenant inside of it, and it is also now matching the other houses in the neighborhood that you picked out, it's reached its full market value. Hopefully the lender is going to say yes, and they're going to enter into a mortgage contract for that property for you. And at that point, what you're gonna do is do a cash out refinance, which is going to allow you to pull a lot of money out of the equity inside of that house. With that equity, you're gonna pay off whatever persons you use to help get you this house, and then you're going to take the rest of that money, put it back into your pocket, repeat the whole process, find another house, and keep on gaining properties. This means that when everything is said and done, you get a rental property, you get a tenant that is paying you a monthly cash flow, and you also get your $40,000 back. And that is extremely powerful. This is why people claim BRRRR investing is free, because the money that you put into the original investment, you can later recoup as time goes by if you do things correctly. Now for this video, I should say I have simplified this process so that way it's easier to understand from a surface level, but you should definitely do more research on this investing strategy. If you want to do more research, I suggest going to BiggerPockets, jumping on the forum section, and reading all of the stories that investors have already posted about their BRRRR experience. Also, another good way to do research is to chat with me. I talk back, so make sure you reach me down below in the comment section with any questions that you have, and I'll make sure to reach you there. The only thing that I ask in return for providing you with this free, bomb, amazing content is that you smash that like button down below until it turns blue, so that way it can help promote this channel. And also, while you're down there, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. I post a lot, and you don't want to miss any content like this coming up in the future. Alright, at this point, if you're saying enough with the talk, Javon, show me how it's going to look using actual numbers, then no worries, I got you. For this, I'm going to need your imagination, so go along this path with me. Let's say that you find a house, and after looking at the house and analyzing the market, you know from your deal analysis that this house in question is going to be worth at least $150,000 if you were able to fix it up. You also know that the total cost of fixing up the house, let's say getting in new flooring, new painting, new landscaping, holding costs, closing costs, all that jazz, that's going to cost you roughly $30,000. With these two numbers that I have provided you, you can calculate what you want your initial purchase price of the house to be. Now, when you're calculating what you want your purchase price to be, we're going to use a formula. And that formula is going to be the after repair value of the house. Basically, what the house is going to be worth after it is fixed up. And you can find that number guesstimated based on what the other houses in that neighborhood / market is doing. So we want the after repair value of the house times 70%. And after we get that number, we're going to subtract the amount of money that it took for us to repair the house, get it up to rent prime ready condition. That is going to be what we want our purchase price to be. So when we do the after repair value times 70%, that's going to be $105,000. And with the knowledge that, hey, fixing up this house will probably cost us around $30,000, we're going to subtract that from $105,000, and that is going to leave us with $75,000, and that is what we want our purchase price to be. Now, before you flip up your computer, walk away from your desk, and get really mad and tell me that, yo, $75,000 to buy a rental investment property sounds like hogwash, it is completely unrealistic, you should know that a couple of months ago, I purchased an investment property for $70,000, which is $5,000 less than our example here. Yeah, but Javon, that probably only works in your market. Keep in mind, in my market, prices are going to be way different, and you can never find those numbers. It's just not realistic. To that, I say the rental property that I bought was nowhere near me. You see, the market that I currently live in, it is way too expensive for me as a beginner to go out and start purchasing homes left and right. So I had to get creative and look for markets that would fit my needs, and the investment property that I ended up purchasing was hours away from me. Now, if you don't believe me, or if you want to see how exactly I went about buying my very first investment property as a complete beginner, then I created a 7-part series that I'm going to link above just for you. And in there, I take you from beginning to end, start to finish, showing you everything that happened in the process. And at the end, you get to see me close a deal on my final investment property. And I even include real life numbers so that way you can get the full picture of how these things really go in real life. You present your buy offer to the seller, negotiations unfold, the seller eventually accepts your price offer, you shake hands, sign the contract, and boom, the house is yours. Now you go forward with the rest of the deal. Now with BRRRR, people rarely have enough money to just go out and start purchasing properties by themselves with all cash, unless there's that you're usually probably not going to see that as a beginner. This is when hard money lenders enter the scene. And hard money lenders, you basically go to them and ask them for the cash needed to purchase the property initially. They'll look at the deal, and based on the numbers that you calculated and what they may think as well, they'll either say yes to give you the money or no to give you the money. But if they say yes, then they're probably also going to ask you to put some skin in the game as well. So let's say the house is going to cost $75,000 to buy, but it's going to cost $30,000 to rehab. They'll probably give you the $70,000 to buy the house initially, but the other amount of money that you need to rehab the place and get it up to its market value condition, you're probably going to have to come up with that for yourself. But with us, since we already saved up money in this example, it works perfectly. So let's imagine that we go to a hard money lender, we meet up with them, show them the deal, they love it. They give us the $75,000 that we need to initially purchase the place. We go out, we purchase it, and this is where things start to roll. After you bought the property and made the necessary repairs, it is now time to put a tenant inside. This is the rent part of BRRRR. Now you go find a tenant, and based on the market value of that house, you're able to rent out the house for $1,500 a month, which is not bad at all. Now, after you place a tenant inside, you are going to go to your 4th step of the BRRRR method, which is refinance. This is a very crucial part because it is here that you're going to go to a bank, refinance out your money so that way you can pay back yourself and also the hard money lender that you borrowed the money from in the first place. Now, most lenders are going to require that the house, the rental property that you bought, is rented out for 6 months or more before they are willing to enter into a refinance agreement contract with you. This is usually called their seasoning period. So let's say that you bought the house, you rehabbed it, you put a tenant inside of it, and you waited 6 months before you decided to go to a couple of lenders in the area and see if they were willing to work with you. Now, if you don't know what a cash out refinance is, in simple terms, it's basically when a lending institution or bank places a new loan on your home. Now, we call it a cash out refinance because you receive in cash a percentage of what your home is based on the local market value. Now, that money that you get from the bank after you cash out refinance, it is usually used to go pay off your hard money renters and also to invest back into yourself since you gave up money in the beginning half of this investment. So in our example, we estimated that the after repair value of the house, once it is all fixed up and in comparison to other houses in that area, it's going to be worth around $150,000. Now at this point, when we are ready to go to a bank and enter into a contract with them to refinance and get our monies out, we have to understand that most banks, when they do this, they're only willing to give you a percentage of the home value of what that house is actually going to be worth. So most banks in general are going to give you, let's say, 75 to 80% of the actual home value back to you. Now, the reason they don't give you the full amount of the house, meaning that the house is worth $150, they're going to give you $150. The reason they don't do that is because they like to leave a little bit of equity inside of the home. And if you don't know, equity is the difference between what the home is worth and what you owe on the home. So let's say the house in question is worth $150,000 and I owe $105,000 on it. Then that difference in between $150,000 and $105,000, that $45,000 difference? Yeah, that $45,000 difference is going to be referred to as equity. To be conservative, let's imagine that the bank that we go to is only willing to give us 70% of what our current home market value is. Now, 70% of $150,000 is $105,000. This is a perfect amount for us because $105,000, once we receive that cash, the first thing we're going to do is go pay off our short-term hard money lender. Now, $105,000 minus $75,000 is going to leave us with $30,000. Does that number look familiar to you? Because at the beginning of this process, we mentioned how you need $30,000 to repair the house. Once you pay off the hard money lender, that $30,000 that's left over goes right back to you. Now that we have the money that we originally invested back into our pockets, we don't have to wait years and years and years struggling to save up more money just so that way we can go out and buy more properties. Instead, we can take the money that we pulled back out of our house and use that to immediately place it back into the market following the same steps and procedures we just saw throughout this video. And that is the power of BRRRR. Instead of having to wait years and years and years to acquire property, you can now do so quickly if you follow these steps and execute correctly. Now, in the beginning of this video, I mentioned how BRRRR was so powerful, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. BRRRR also has its weaknesses as well. After watching this video, can you kind of see where the weakness is? If not, don't worry, because I'm about to tell you now. You see, the weakness in BRRRR lies in that refinance step. What do I mean by this? Well, think about it. What happens after you borrow money from a hard money lender, use your own money to buy a place and fix it up, put a renter inside, and then you go to a bank and say, hey, I want to do a cash out refinance with you. And they say, no, I don't think so. I don't want to do that. Well, that's a very stressful position to be in because now you still owe money to your short-term hard money lender and you personally have money wrapped up into that project. So two people are waiting for money to come to them and you don't know how to give it to them. Now, I'm not giving you these warnings because I want to dissuade you from BRRRR after telling you how amazing it is. I'm only giving you these warnings because this is a channel where I like to educate people to the best of my abilities, and educating you involves not only telling you the good parts, but also the scary and the bad parts as well. The truth is, BRRRR, that strategy is really powerful, and it is one that I plan to use later on going in the future, and I'll also document it for you here on this channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss those videos as well. But even though BRRRR is so powerful, it is very important and critical for you to know where its weaknesses lies. You see, BRRRR has its own weaknesses, but honestly, so does every other investing strategy out there. Whether you're investing in the markets, whether you're putting your money in crypto, there's always going to be some type of risk that you need to know about so that way you have the full picture before you dive in and invest money that could be crucial to your livelihood. Hopefully, this video has been really informative to you. I truly enjoyed making it. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button down below until it turns blue. Like I said, it is completely free for you to do, and it helps this channel grow and reach other people who may need it as well. Now, if you have any questions about anything that I said in this video, or if anything was kind of unclear, then meet me down in the comment sections below. I will be glad to answer any and almost all questions. Now, I think that is all I have for you today. With that being said, I'm going to leave you with a peace, love, and happiness.